Good morning, Kate here, bringing you this week's Monday mission. And this one is titled How to Be a Toddler. And what got me thinking about this was we were eating, I forget where, and my youngest, he didn't eat very much of his dinner. He's kind of a picky eater to begin with. Just not a big eater, more of a snacker, just naturally. And I thought, wow, like he just, when he was full, he said he was done and that was it. And before I used to try to force him to eat more, right? Because I like had a certain amount in my mind that meant that he got the nutrients or whatever. And I would equate that with, being a good mom, right? Like if I was a good mom and I set the expectations and, made sure that he followed through with those expectations. But the more I thought about it, especially with him, because he did have such pushback with it, I thought, what? Like, why am I forcing him to eat more than he's naturally wanting to eat in that moment, right? Like, why would I force him to push himself past his fullness? So, listen, it's still a struggle with him, getting him to eat a variety of things, getting him to eat more healthy choices. But I vowed, like right then and there, I was not going to force him to push past his fullness. So we were out to eat and he did this, and I just thought again, like, wow, like he's so just in tune to how he's naturally feeling, and he communicates that, which sounds so simple, but how many of us truly do it? Right? How many of us truly just say when we've had enough, do what we want without worrying about what other people are going to say or think or do, and, kind of just be in tune with who we are and what we want in that moment, right? We don't. We're conditioned to stop being that way, but we're all born that way. And through, toddlerhood, we are that way. So it got me thinking about some lessons that we can learn from toddlers that will help us as grown-ups. So I wrote down a couple here. The first one is to say no when you don't want to do something, right? A toddler is asked to pick up their toys or get in the car or do whatever, and they just tell you no because they don't want to, right? And obviously we can't go around saying no to absolutely everything. We have responsibilities. But my point is when you are asked to do something, or it's implied that you will just do something or volunteer for something or pick up that extra thing to do at work, and you really want to say no, like deep in your soul that for your self-care and for your own mental health, you really don't want to do this thing, right? But then we make all justifications. We say, oh, well, I should. They would do it for me. They did that thing that I asked them to do. This will look good. They'll think that I'm a good worker, a good friend, a good family member, a good whatever, if I do this, right? So we put all of these expectations on ourselves so that we can't just say no when we don't want to do it, right? So that's our first way of being a toddler that we're going to practice this week as part of the mission, is to say no when we don't want to do it. No explanation, right? We don't have to say why. Just no, I don't want to. Our next one is our lesson from Brooks, and that's to stop eating when we're full. And part of this is slowing down as you're eating so that you actually can register your fullness. Your brain can catch up to your stomach. That's what I try to tell Parker all the time. But that's our mission, is to say, we're full. I'm done. I don't want to eat anymore. I don't want to eat that last bite. Even if there's one bite left on the plate, I don't need to eat it. I don't have to clean my plate. I don't have to make the hostess feel, it's not going to make the hostess feel badly if I don't finish it. Just if you're full, stop eating. Again, so simple. And toddlers do it. Brooke still does it, right? So tune back in to that natural understanding of your fullness and your needs. And when you are full, stop. Okay, third one. We are going to ask why over and over and over again, right? So if you have kids and you remember that toddler stage, or you've been around toddlers, family members, or you in education, kids will constantly ask you why. What? You know? And um, we want to get back to that. We want to get back to asking our brain why. So when we have a thought or we have a feeling, why? I wonder why I think this way. I wonder why I feel this way. I wonder what's going on with me, right? And that kind of goes into the next one, which is to be curious about everything. So these two go together. Ask why and be curious about everything, right? So you notice toddlers, I mean, they will just stop in the middle of the sidewalk to look at a bug or to look at a flower. They are constantly curious and figuring out their world, and they're asking why to understand what's going on around them. So that's what we want to do for ourselves too. We want to ask why. Why do we feel this way? Why do we think this way? Do we really like this? Do we not really like this? Do we want to do this? Do we not want to do this? Ask and be curious, right? Because remember, curiosity is the opposite of judgment. So we can't judge others and we can't judge ourselves if we're being curious. Okay, so be curious and ask why. And then the last one, this one is a challenge for me, and I'm gonna make sure that I do this one this week. It's to laugh and be silly. Just laugh about anything that you find funny in the moment. Be silly. That's something that I would like to be more of with the boys, because I feel like I'm constantly just kind of on the go, and we got to do this and we got to get ready for this and make sure we get this done. And and it's something that I feel like I should, not should, but I could take more time for, is to just be goofy and silly with them. So that's going to be part of my challenge for myself this week, is to just be goofy, be silly, laugh, be in the moment, right? So these are so many life lessons that we can learn from toddlers. Okay, so this is your mission this week, is to be a toddler. We are going to say no when we don't want to do it. We are going to stop eating when we're full. We're going to ask why over and over and over again. And we're going to stay curious, because curiosity is the opposite of judgment. So we're going to be curious about everything. And we're going to laugh and be more silly this week, right? So that is your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to be a toddler again, right? How fun is that? So I want to hear from you though. Like, tell me which ones kind of really, you know, rang true for you, like what felt really good about doing these. Maybe share with me what you did that was silly this week, or what was goofy, or what you laughed about. And as always, share with me how this mission goes for you and what you think about it, and if it resonated with you. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.